Okay, my friends, today may seem a little off topic compared to what the type of things I normally cover. Today we are discussing the pain cave. I could call it many other things. The pain cave that we have a love-hate relationship with when we do events, races. It could be OCR or various other things where it is wildly painful in its own way, and you go through that roller coaster ride when you're out on course, questioning yourself, wondering what the heck you're doing, wondering if you'll ever race again when you finish this race. That mental roller coaster ride that anybody that's raced, and I'm going to try to create kind of a visual here. You know, in track and field or in swimming or various things, you know, we have, you know, you got the 50 meter swim in swimming, you got the 100, 200 meter dash in track and field, and I can give a lot of other analogies. But long story short, it's over with that fast. Very extremely short, brief amount of pain. And then, you know, then you have ultra distances where it's just it's a long, slow grind. But in the middle here, let's take, just for some examples that'll make it easy for you to understand. Let's look at a Spartan sprint, Spartan super, various other, maybe a Savage, 6 miler, various other examples. Those, and again, the bookends could move a little bit, but I just want to create the picture. Those events where if you're really competing, you are at or above lactate threshold the whole time. Meaning you are uncomfortable. Meaning you are burning the match. Meaning you are, at certain stages, your body is building up acid at a point, at an exponential rate, and your body is not able to process it. You are in the pain cave. And trust me, 30 minutes to 2 hours is a long time. And again, that's just rough estimates. It's a long time to be going through that roller coaster ride. Many of you listen to this, maybe all of you have been there. And you've all had that race where you finished and you were like, oh my God, I got everything out of myself. I did not settle out on course. And then you've had the races where you know you settled. You know the roller coaster ride, and when the demons crept in and said, this sucks, this is painful, you settled a little bit, you settled in. But here's what's crazy about it. Most of us, the race is done, it's like 5 minutes after the race is done, you're ready to come back to it. You're done during the race. You went through several moments in the race where you're done. I know you know what I'm talking about. Seriously questioning yourself. And then you wake up the next day and you're ready to go train. Well, one of the reasons I'm bringing this up is I settled a little bit out on course Sunday at my Spartan sprint. I'll be honest, you know, I took off and I had a nice lead, and I went in the age group wave. I had a nice gap, and somebody kind of crept up on me and kind of made the gap a little uncomfortable. And I started settling a little bit. I remember thinking it's going to be okay if I get second. You know, I just had some demons that I was dealing with out there. And then I would snap out of it and I would dive back in, and I was like, I started thinking about crazy things like, you know, I've got the AT&T Stadium race coming up. I don't even want to do that race. Sometimes I just want to take a break. This is kind of miserable. Here's what happened. Yesterday, I got up and trained my butt off. I felt like $1 million. Today, I can't wait to train. Heck, I could probably easily get myself in an overtraining situation right now. And you know what? AT&T race is going to happen, and I'll probably have to deal with some of the same demons. I'll win the battle sometimes I won't. But long story short, it's a different category. The only people, athletes that have lived in that middle ground area, you know, in track and field, it's like the 800 meter, the mile. The 2 mile. That was my world. You know, the mile was probably my best. 1600 meter was my best race in high school. I could step down to the 6, the 8, even the 4. I could step up to the 32. But ever since then, my genetics, I've lived in that middle ground area where it's just going to be a lot of time in zone 4 and even a little bit in zone 5 when you're out there racing. Listen, zone 4 is AKA not comfortable. So you have to find a way to get comfortable in your mind with zone 4. It's not easy, and it will never happen to you 100% of the time. You will lose that battle every now and then. It might just be for a few minutes out on course. It might be the whole damn race. It might be during some of your workouts. But long story short, you'll win some and you'll lose some, and that's okay. There are people that have Olympic gold medals around their neck, and they would agree with what I just said. They've lost some and they've won some of those battles. So, if you enjoy living in that world, I feel your pain. I feel you. I love you. I feel it with you. There's something special. I'm a firm believer that those athletes is tough athletes, and even athletes that get up there to that marathon type distance, that 2 and 3 hour mark for those elite athletes. That's some tough zone 4 efforts. A lot of that race, and everything under it that we talked about. So they are mentally tough. It takes mental savvy, and just you gotta be a badass to keep coming back at that. But there's a unique draw that I can't put the exact definition on it. I've been there. I know many of you have been there, and it's amazing. And here's the deal: in the grand scheme of things, that time flies by so fast. And 99.9% of the time, when you're done, maybe 5 minutes or 2 hours afterwards, you're like, that wasn't so bad. How do we always come back to the point that wasn't so bad? How do we always wake up the next morning most of the time and want to dive back in and do it again and train again? That's what makes it so damn special. I can't quite explain it. I can't give you an exact definition, but it's really cool. And that was the reason for my message today. So like I said, it's a little off track from normal. The challenge for you though, the challenge for the day with this message is don't settle out there. When I snapped out of it on my bucket carry. I jogged with my bucket, and I felt good when I was done. But here's what happened. I missed my spear. I haven't missed a spear in a long time. I haven't been in a burpee pit in a long freaking time. I ran up to the spear feeling 27 in a 47-year-old body. I left that burpee pit feeling 100% of 47. I've crippled my butt from the spear to the damn barbed wire crawl at about an 8-minute pace, feeling sorry for myself. And I ended up finishing second in my age group. The guy that I had a nice healthy gap on, he made his spear. So I was able to snap out of it and finish relatively strong. But anyway, good stuff, man. There's a reason millions of people across the world keep coming to this. You know what? OCR hurts a little more than trail running and regular road running. It's a little extra kind of pain. So anyway, much love to all you guys and gals out there. I hope you enjoyed this message. I know we will be back in the pain cave soon together. Much love. Live, love, laugh, and serve big today, my friends. Tomorrow and the next day. Rock and roll.